So the IAAF have released a new world ranking system which acts as a component of the qualification towards the Olympic Games and the World Championships. And in this video, I'm going to explain how those world rankings work and how Olympic qualification also works. So firstly, let's start off with Olympic qualification. So Olympic qualification is different to how it's been in the past. In the past, there were set standards that you had to achieve in order to get into the Games. Now, they are not the only way to get into the Games, okay? These standards, which are driving athletics Twitter absolutely nuts with the drastic changes, are not actually the be-all end-all and are actually designed to enable the top 20 athletes, roughly, automatic access, okay? So it's basically a guarantee that the top athletes are going, provided that they have these standards, even if they don't have the consistency. Okay, so for example, in the case of the 110 meter hurdles, where the standard used to be 13:47, it's now as high as 13:32, which is actually a drastic change to what it's been in previous editions. But each event has a target number of athletes. So in the case of the 100 meters, as you can see, it's 56 athletes, and you can see via the table the target number of athletes for each event. Okay, so the IAAF are looking to fill up the numbers regardless of what the standards are, and they're trying to do so by using the IAAF World Rankings. So as the example I've given, if only the top 20 run this automatic standard for the 100 meters, then they're going to need to invite another 36 athletes via the IAAF World Rankings. So for a safe-ish bet, you generally want to be ranked in the World Rankings wherever that target number is set. So if you take the high jump, you want to be ranked in the top 32. So what are the IAAF World Rankings? Exactly how do they work? So your world ranking is based off your world ranking score, and that is made up of your 5 top performance scores, which I will go into and explain. So your IAAF World Ranking is an average of those top 5 performance scores, okay? And a performance is basically anything you've done. So a race in a competition, a height in a competition, whatever event, depending on what event you do, and can only include a maximum of 2 indoor performances and has to at least have had 3 outdoor performances. Okay, and this IAAF World Ranking score will be compared against everyone else in the world. So your performance score is based off a variety of factors, and these factors are as such. So your IAAF point table score. So there's an IAAF table of points for every single event, and you can get this via the IAAF website, and it effectively gives you the points you have for your said performance. So let's say you ran 10 seconds in 100 meters, that will give a certain number of points. Let's say you threw 20 meters in a shot, that'll give you a set number of points. On top of that is added the wind reading points. And those wind reading points obviously don't come into consideration for certain field events or track events that are 400 meters or further. And then after that you have competition category and position points, and also performance age point deductions, which I will go into depth with later. So the IAAF scoring table points work as such. So this is an example of the scoring table. Okay, and this is taken from the outdoors track side of the scoring table. And as you can see here, a time of 10:10, the men's 100 meters would lead to a table score of 1,172 points. Okay, and you can basically take any performance you have and go along and see how many points that performance equates to. Okay, and these tables can be found both indoor and outdoor via the IAAF website. So the second component of your performance score is your wind reading score, okay? And for readings of 0 to 2.0, you will have no point deduction. So anything in that legal range of 0 to 2, you're going to have no point deduction at all. Anything that is a headwind, so minus 0.1 and below, you're going to get added points on. And readings of 2.1 or higher, so tailwinds that aren't legal, are going to lead to you having points taken away from your total performance score. Okay, so these are examples I've set here. So if you have a 2.7 wind, you're going to lose 16 points from your performance score. 1.3, as I've said, leads to no point deduction, and a minus 1.4 wind leads to you gaining 8 points on top of your performance score. So the third component of a performance score is probably the most complicated, and it's the category of competition and the position score. So you get points based on where you come, but this is only relative to the standard of the competition that you are competing in. Okay, and these position points are only added in the case of finals, not in qualifying rounds such as heats and semis. This is an example of the table and category of categorization of meetings. Most meetings are F category events. Okay, so I'd say 95% of all meetings, probably all the ones you do domestically, are F class events. So the example I'm giving here is if you were to compete in the World Universiade and come 5th, you get an extra 55 points added onto your score. And this goes for all the events depending on where it is, okay? And you can see generally by searching the IAAF what event is what categorization. But if you're unsure, chances are it's an F-class meeting. And finally, the last component is the performance age. And this is essentially how old your competition performance was relative to the current date. Okay, so the window of performances is 12 months for pretty much every event, aside from the 5K and the 10K where it's 18 months. So any performance that you did that was older than 12 months won't count towards your world ranking score. It has to be recent. If a performance was 10 months ago, then 20 points are going to be deducted. If it was 11 months ago, 40 points are deducted, and as you can expect, if it was 12 months ago, 60 points are deducted. If any performance is older than 12 months, it's not going to count. Okay, so if your performance score from a race last season, as it says here, was 1120, but it has been 10 months since, then you're going to lose 20 points and would go down to 1,100 points. So here is an example of the World Ranking website, and as you can see, this is the World Rankings for the 100 meters as I've used as most of the examples in this video. And as you can see here, you've got the top three here: Ronnie Baker, Christian Coleman, Bingtan Su, and on the right here is their score. Okay, as we know, Christian Coleman actually finished the season with a higher season's best, which was a PB in the end, but was a higher season's best than Ronnie Baker. But Ronnie Baker did it more consistently, and he did it in the right competitions. So his performance score has gone as high as 1426. Okay, so that's one of the factors to consider in. It's not necessarily who's run the fastest time or who's jumped the furthest. It's about consistency and doing it at the right competitions. Okay, so that is how the World Rankings work. I do hope I've sort of simplified it a bit further and helped you to understand it. But now I'm going to take this opportunity to show you a tool that I built that makes it way easier. And everything is automated, everything does it on its own. And all you have to do is input your values, your performances, and it does it automatically. And it's a nice tool to kind of just manage your results, keep track of how you're performing and see, relative to other performances, how you've done, at least according to the IAAF. So, as you can see here, I've got my rankings point calculator. It is for 60 to 110 meter hurdles. It can be for any event. So I am making these for every event, and I am going to be releasing it to you guys. I'll explain that in a minute. But yeah, as you can see, I've got all my indoor results. I've got my outdoor performances from last year, as I've not competed outdoors this year, so I've not got anything to speak of. But as you can see, it shows all the stuff that I covered in the video, the categorization of events. You've got some sheets here explaining how to use the spreadsheet and also how the IAAF rankings work as well. So it's all pretty inclusive. So yeah, I'm going to just show you how it works, for example. So as you can see here, you've got meeting, location, date, all the things you might require. Let's say I competed today, okay? Let's say I did a Loughborough AC Open, okay? And I did it, as I said, I did it today, 17th of March, 2019. I didn't actually, but let's just say I did. And for the sake of this, let's just say I did a PB. Before I go into this as well, what my tool does is it basically automatically logs your top performances. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got the top indoor performances, top outdoor performances, according to this performance score here. Okay, so for example, if I was to take my best performance, which is my BAL meeting 3, let's see, where's that here, and I was to take out the time, as you can see, the list automatically updates itself. Okay, so it's already altered itself. So let's go back. We don't want to change that. And let's say I did compete today, and let's say I ran a big PB. Say I ran 38.9. I ran a good race, and let's say the wind was 0.7. Okay, this also has the functionality to automatically do everything. So they automatically do the wind. So for example, if it was a 2.7 wind, as you can see, the points change. So it's minus 16. If I did minus 5.0, it would do the same thing. It would change. Okay, but let's just say for the sake of this video that it was 0.7. That class was an F class race, and that I came first. As you see, I've got 1102 points, and the list over here has automatically updated. As a result of that, so is this. So my ranking score before was 1079. Now it's gone up to 1088. So if I was to get rid of that, you can see it'll automatically update everything. And it goes up to 1079, yeah, which is my current world ranking. And you can go on the website, the IAAF World Ranking website, and see how your ranking score compares. If you are above 800, I believe, then you should be on the website, depending on the event. If not, then you can see generally what you'd have to achieve in order to get onto the rankings and kind of see how you compare to some of the world's best. I've got a few ranking estimates as well in this spreadsheet, which tells you roughly where you need to be in order to be top 10 in the world across all events, top 10 in your event, what it would roughly you'd have to get to go to the Olympics or World Championships. These are basic estimates. And it's all pretty effective to use, pretty inclusive. It automatically updates itself, calculates it all for you, and it's a nice management tool. Just to keep track of all your results, all your performances, and just see how each performance varies compared to one another. So I will be making this spreadsheet for a variety of events. In fact, I'll do it for pretty much every event that the rankings code for. I will be doing these for a small cost. The reason I do it for a small cost is because athletes don't get a lot of money, and I'm trying to pay to go to the World University Games, which is going to be very expensive, and we don't get funded to do so. So, if I can make money here or there, then, it'd be fantastic. I'm not talking anything like grand. I'm talking like maybe, £5 or something along those lines. But if you are interested, guys, then hit me up. I can give you the spreadsheet for your said event. If it's for hurdles, it's very easy for me. I can just send you this one. And if it's a field event or, other track event, then I can make it up for you, get it all working, get it all functioning, and I can make it for you. And then obviously put locks and stuff on it because, as much as I'd like to trust you guys, you got to be careful. You don't want to have your spreadsheets being distributed worldwide, because that would suck a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I've simplified it. I hope I've triggered your interest, and you've kind of looked at this tool and you're like, oh, that'll make everything so much easier. I would love to use it. The athletes I've given it to so far have absolutely loved it. They've said it's worth a lot more than I'm willing to sell it for, and I'm thrilled by that. I hope you guys also see it that way. And yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out, for example, my Instagram, then make sure to do so. It's at Miguel S. Pereira. And also hit subscribe, if you enjoy these videos, then I'd be glad to see you again. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace.